Hello, everyone. Welcome to our lecture review session. We're going to do a block it style review. So please hop on the website and join the game room. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to shout it out or ask in the chat. And once everyone has joined, I'll start the game. Okay, let's begin. These are all based on the lectures. What are the primary sex organs called in male and females? Gonads. What are two functions of the gonads? Produce gametes and hormones. How many chromosomes are there in an adult human somatic cell? 46. What process produces gametes? Meiosis. Mature gametes are what type of cells? They're diploid. Most adult body cells are what type? They're diploid. Cell replication in the epidermis uses which process? Mitosis. They're constantly replenishing themselves and they should be like duplicate copies unless there's like a mutation or something. What sex chromosomes does a genetic male usually have? XY. What sex chromosomes does a genetic female usually have? XX. Which organs are secondary sex organs in females? Uterus, uterine tubes, vagina, mammary glands. What portion of the ovary contains ovarian follicles? The cortex. What are the two components of an ovarian follicle? The oocytes and follicular cells. What important substance do follicular cells secrete? Estrogen. Which hormone surge induces ovulation? LH. What is the source of high estrogen during the follicular phase? Developing follicles. What secretes estrogen and progesterone during the luteal phase? The corpus luteum. What allows menstruation to occur? A drop in estrogen and progesterone. Where does fertilization usually occur? In the uterine tube. But it should occur in the uterus. Where does healthy implantation occur? Yeah, in the uterus. Because that's where the baby will form. What type of epithelium lines the uterine tube? The ciliated simple columnar epithelium. Why are cilia important in the uterine tube? Move the oocytes towards the uterus. What are the three layers of the uterine wall? Endometrium, myometrium, and perimetrium. Which endometrial layer is shed during menstruation? The functional layer. What are the three phases of the uterine cycle? Menstrual, proliferative, and secretory. What is the function of mammary glands? Produce milk. Which hormone stimulates milk production? Prolactin. Which hormone stimulates milk ejection? Oxytocin, which is also called the cuddling hormone. Or even you could get it by looking in dogs, like puppies' eyes, which is pretty cool. Where does meiosis occur in males? In the seminiferous tubules. What is the first haploid cell in spermatogenesis? Secondary spermatocyte. How many chromosomes are in a sperm cell? 23. Where does sperm mature? In the epididymis. What process helps propel sperm through ducts? Peristalsis. What are the three male accessory glands? the seminal vesicle, prostate, and the bulbourethral glands. What is the function of seminal vesicle? It adds fructose-rich fluids to semen so that the sperm has food. What are the three erectile bodies of the penis? Two corpora cavernosa and one corpus spongiosum. And it kind of looks like a monkey face. Which ANS division causes erection? The parasympathetic. And then the sympathetic, oh yeah. Which ANS division causes ejaculation? Oh, it's actually sympathetic. I gotta fix that. What are the three main nephron processes? Filtration, reabsorption, and secretion. Which nephron type is most common? Cortical nephron. What are the two parts of the renal corpuscle? The glomerulus and the glomerular capsule. Which of the following changes occurs in a sarcomere during muscle contraction according to the sliding filament theory? The I band and H zone decrease in width. Which of the following describes the primary role of neurotransmitters at a chemical synapse? They act as electrical insulators to speed up the transmission of action potentials. Which cerebral lobe is primarily responsible for the initial processing of visual information? The occipital lobe. Which physiological response is most characteristic of parasympathetic nervous system activation? Rest and digest. What is the primary function of gap junctions in tissues like cardiac muscle? To allow the direct passage of ions and small molecules for rapid electrical coupling between cells. What occurs during vasodilation of an areola? The smooth muscle in the vessel walls relaxes, widening the lumen and increasing blood flow. What type of epithelium is uniquely adapted to stretch and recoil and is found lining the urinary bladder? Transitional epithelium. The hepatic portal vein is unique because it carries blood. High nutrients from the digestive organs to the liver. Edema is most accurately described as the accumulation of excess fluid in the interstitial spaces. Which of the following statements about muscle fiber types is false? Slow fibers have a small network of capillaries. That's why they're more red. Like a lot of cows, you see them, they're like really slow, and if you cut into them, they're like red because they have a lot of capillaries. In a serous membrane, such as the pericardium, which layer is the most superficial and lines the cavity wall, the parietal layer? Which In bone remodeling, which cell type is responsible for the reabsorption breakdown of bone matrix? Which one breaks down the bones? Yep, the osteoclast. Osteoblasts build the bones. Which type of sensory receptor is specifically designed to detect changes in pressure and mechanical deformation? Mechanoreceptors. Which type of immune cell is primarily responsible for remembering a pathogen and providing long-term immunity after a vaccination? Memory B and T cells. Which of the following are the primary effectors organ regulated by the autonomic nervous system? Cardiac muscles, smooth muscles, and glands. Which organ system is primarily responsible for the transport of nutrients, gases, waste products through the body? Cardiovascular system. Okay, everyone, that concludes our game. I'll be here for if anyone has any questions to review or any topics they want to go over before your final. Otherwise, please put your email in the chat so I could take attendance. And good luck on your final.